Guest speaker before we go into our breakout room discussions today is lovely Camille from Upswing. So welcome, Camille, and I'm going to hand over to you.
Thank you, Natalie. Thank you. I have a presentation here and a video that we'll share later. I'm going to tell you a bit about the story that led us to work in care setting as a circus organization. A little bit about me. I'm Camille. I'm the executive director of Upswing. I'm not Vicky Amidume, the CEO and founder of the company who was meant to speak today. She's locked in a rehearsal room in Stoke making a show. So you got me. Um, so Upswing is a leading contemporary circus company based in Stoke-on-Trent. We create contemporary circus that blends aerial and acrobatic skill with sound and design, and we want to tell stories that matter. The company always looks for opportunities for beautiful experimentation. We want to have context, form, and action blend together to create unique experiences. We tour to theatres and festivals, but we also perform in the streets, in libraries, and in care homes. We take our shows to meet people in the places where they live, they work, and they play. We're a small team. We've got 4 employees, but we have an army of freelancers and regular collaborators that come together to help us deliver multi-year and large-scale projects. Last year, we reached over 20,000 people in the UK and beyond. We are a registered charity and an Arts Council England NPO. So our work is always led by the artistic impulse. Circus is at the core of everything, and it can lead us into surprising places and directions. Sometimes our ideas are going to be realized as main stage shows, and sometimes it's about using circus as a process that is flexible and adaptable and that can be used beyond performance. Circus is a popular art form and is recognized everywhere, and it's a powerful tool to break down barriers. So our work, let's see if I can manage to shift a little bit to this beautiful image. Our work for and with older people in care emerged from a show that we created in 2012. At the time, Vicky was approaching her 40s, and she was beginning to consider what getting older would mean for her professional and personal relationships. And she was increasingly aware that she knew very few artists that were over 50 still working in the field. So the show, titled What's Happened in the Winter, this is an image from the show, we worked with 2 professional circus artists, aged 50 and 69, to explore the assumptions, the expectations, and the narratives that we tend to attach to women's bodies as they age. And during the development of the show, we worked with women in their 60s, 70s, and 80s to discover the themes that resonated beyond the circus community. And we did this through various workshops in London and Southwest. And we unveiled themes of visibility, of becoming less visible, of adapting, having a changing relationship with your own body, and the shared need for risk-taking and challenge. It also enabled us to discover what circus practice for and with older bodies might be. So we went on to make other work, a collaborative film called Falling and Flying about age and isolation, an outdoor piece called Catch Me that was about age, race, and gender. And further on in 2016, we were approached by Magic Me for those residencies that Kate was talking about just now. And during that time, we spent 10 weeks in a care home in East London. That was a care home with 35 residents aged between 69 to 95. And with varying level of abilities and illnesses and conditions. The goal of the project was really to demonstrate to the wider arts sector that performing for care home audiences, including people with dementia, didn't mean diluting or dumbing down anything that we do. It was simply about thinking about making work more accessible. So yeah, we worked with the artists, our regular artists and collaborators, to develop new performances specifically for the spaces that were available. So going back to checking the spaces ahead of time and thinking you might have to perform in the lunchroom and furniture might need to be moved beforehand. So you need to consider all these things. And we introduced music, clowning, illusions, juggling, and acrobatics, and some aerial work as well. We explored and tested the activities to engage the staff, the residents, and their families in playful interventions and parties. And the parties were really important. The circus parties were the most fun. A bit like a cabaret with different acts, but music and singing and participation, and some drink and food. And that really challenged expectations of people was in the care home. And when I say people, it was everybody, the staff, the families, and the residents. So during that process, we discovered that circus could bring an important experience of pleasure and challenge at the same time. Circus does reveal untapped potential and builds personal resilience. And my favorite comment about the project was from the circle manager, who at the end of the project told us that she initially didn't want us here. she was very reticent of a circus company coming. But through Circus, she realized she had been underestimating the people in her care, and that she now understood that a healthy and fulfilling life, you needed to take risk and be challenged to have that. So that was really, really strong comment. And see if I've got some more images. Some of our artists and some of the performers that came to the care homes here. And a lovely lady who was very much attending every session that we delivered there. So yeah, so since then we've been building the practice in care homes. We've went to Hull for the City of Culture with Storybook Circus. We sort of adapted the project that we did with Magic Me into a touring model. And that kind of gave us a lot of indicators about what we could do differently or better if we were to continue this work. Learning is really key to our practice, and the evaluation of the project showed that we needed more time, for example, in care homes, a strong focus on staff buy-in and training, and for us to also be very flexible and adapt with each home because they were different. We also wanted to ensure that our visits would impact for the long term, and that beyond us being there, there would be a legacy of some form, and that activities could continue. So we started trying out with a little guide that we shared, but we realized that without more instructions, it wasn't going to be so useful. We also realized that budget constraints, mean that external circus facilitators can't be brought in. We go into projects with the funding, but care homes usually struggle to find the kind of budgets that's needed for a circus. So we had ideas. We wanted to increase our expertise. We wanted to train ourselves. So we worked with consultants to look at the activities we were proposing and how to adapt them. We also wanted to work with artists who had social practice experience, because that's not what we do usually at Upswing. And also bring those artists who had lived experience of disability and were circus artists and could show us different ways of working. So we learned quite a lot during the process, and we slowly put together a project called Homemade Circus. And in 2019, we were very grateful to secure funding from the City Bridge Trust to develop a 3-year program, Homemade Circus, working with Anchor, who were our partner for the Magic Me project. So we continued the same relationship that was, a long-lasting meeting. And we wanted to deliver a multi-year and multi-care home project. Then COVID, just at the time. So we realized we wanted to really bring in a digital element to the project. We obviously paused delivery in care homes for quite a while. We managed to return and resume the project. And in the meantime, we had applied for further funding to the Range Foundation to extend our work outside of London, working with Excel Care and Bupa, and also to develop a extensive digital toolkit. And this is where I'm going to stop sharing. Bear with me and share something else, which is the video. And I hope that sound will come through, and let me know if it doesn't, please.
Homemade circus is
Perfect.
enjoying,
Important.
very colorful, possibility,
Unity. Fun. It's very entertaining. Upswing is a multi-award-winning contemporary circus company telling new stories in extraordinary ways. We exist to inspire curiosity, entertain, share urgent ideas, and ignite a desire to build connection. Our work is not confined to theatres and festivals. We reach people in unexpected ways, wherever they are. Our homemade circus project shows how we can put this into practice by bringing joy, play, and connection directly to those living in care in residential homes.
is different, and it's nice to see people getting involved in a different way than the normal bingo. Arts and crafts. So it is good getting people moving and getting everybody involved with different levels of abilities.
Having brought circus arts into care settings for over 10 years, our latest engagement project focuses on training care staff to create and run their own circus activities so that the program can continue even after we leave. We've trained care workers to become circus activity leaders through hands-on training and practical delivery sessions so they can confidently use circus equipment and run their own sessions. By equipping the care team with these skills, our goal is to have a more lasting impact and maintain the positive culture shift that circus activities can provide.
And thus it must bring back that thing we had in our childhood, that playfulness, and so residents who hardly responded before to stimulus of activity coming out of themselves, responding.
Upswing worked with Anchor Hanover, Excel Care, and Bupa care homes across London and the South East. The 2-year project was funded by City Bridge Trust and the Rain Foundation and involved a series of interactive workshops. We guided staff and residents to explore circus equipment side by side with activities designed to improve hand-eye coordination, dexterity and mobility, reduce anxiety, and above all, to have fun and bring people together.
We haven't had anything like this circus before, but this is just one of a kind and very different.
A key benefit of the homemade circus activities that makes them so valuable in care settings is the opportunity for residents to challenge themselves through activities that might initially seem risky or complex, but have been adapted to be safe and accessible for everyone. People with limited mobility or dementia can get just as involved as those who are looking for more of a challenge. We've experienced amazing reactions from care home residents, including noticeable improvements in dexterity, mobility, balance, and verbal communication. At its core, homemade circus unites people through shared experiences and laughter. We developed a digital toolkit to continue the legacy of homemade circus by providing easy-to-follow video tutorials. These short videos guide anyone looking to run circus activities in their care settings through the process, step by step. Alongside the tutorials, we also provide downloadable resource sheets, links to where you can purchase equipment, and even playlists to inspire your own circus sessions. The Homemade Circus project spotlights how circus arts can enrich care settings. Caregivers and residents bond over new challenges, breaking down barriers and building a sense of teamwork and achievement.
It doesn't take much of us, really. It's something that you can even go to the room in the next 5-10 minutes, you can do something with them. And that changes the atmosphere and people's feeling as well. Touch lives and it can change lives as well.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm overrunning a little bit, I think. Am I allowed to come back to the rest of the presentation, or do you want me to stop here, Natalie?
I'm just thinking that we've got breakout rooms, but I've got about another 3 minutes. I'll shave
Okay,
a few minutes off the
I'm
breakout rooms.
going to speed through then.
Thank you, Camille. I am sorry.
No, no, that's fair enough. I'm just going to put that as I talk. So yeah, this project was really life-changing, I think, for a lot of people, including the artists that we trained. And, they came out with a desire to continue the work, to explore their own kind of practice. They learned a lot of skills. And I think as an organization, it changed us as well. The way we work, the way we learn, the way we kind of look at evaluation. We completely shifted what we wanted to do with the reports. We've produced two reports at the end of this project. They're on our website, and I can put the links in the chat afterwards. And those reports at first, they were sort of action learning reports where we kind of adapted after the first year and changed things and kind of did something differently in the second year. I would say that the things that I'd like to give away from this project is taking risks, and that's been said already today. Challenge established perceptions of what people can do or want to do, and develop projects that benefit everyone involved. For me, that's a really, really important one. Projects that can build a community through the shared experience, including staff and families and the locality, the local place, place-based experiences as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Camille. I think the one thing that is definitely shining from all our guest speakers today is the element of fun. All the videos, the images that we've seen is people are being creative, but they are enjoying the opportunity to be creative. And how amazing is some circus skills and balancing things, and it all helps, as you say, with the falls prevention within care services and staff engagement. I mean, just training the staff to deliver creativity from drawing to sculpture, as we heard with Belong, to Magic Me with the children, the next generation coming through, and circus performance. It's just such incredible speakers today. So thank you so much for sharing that. Well, we're not quite finished. We're going to ask you or invite you to join us in the breakout rooms now. And what we'd like to do is we'd like you to have give you a question.